We have Coach Tony Bennett from the Virginia Cavaliers and Joe Harris. Joe Harris had 19 points and 7 rebounds tonight. Coach, if you'd like to open up with a few remarks.
We were thoroughly outplayed in every facet of the game, and certainly that's a experienced, explosive team that when they have an open look, at least tonight, they don't miss. But when I look at the stat sheet and see 40 points in the paint, 18 in transition, they could really do whatever they want. We were not sound enough. We're very inexperienced, and it showed. But if you want to even beat a game with Washington, then played against them many times, you have to make them play against a set defense, and you have to take care of the ball and be somewhat sound and patient, and that was very much lacking tonight. So we play in 10 hours or whatever it is, 12 hours, so we'll have to regroup and come back and fight, and that's what I challenge the guys to do.
Stevie on the Washington Post. Tony, obviously it's probably tough to simulate that kind of pressure in practice, but as familiar with Washington and their style as you were you surprised with kind of how quickly things got out of hand tonight?
I mean, I know they're explosive. You could see it. I mean, I think we held them 2 points under their average, so I guess that's a positive, huh? They averaging 108, so. Yeah, we don't have that kind of foot speed or quickness, and until you go through it, it's like cold water in the face, how quick they get down on you, and just how they can hurt you in a lot of different ways. But yeah, it did get out of hand, and some of that was part of our turnovers, 26 points off turnovers. We got a little sped up, and those, you just have no chance. So was I surprised to get out of that early, to be down that much? Yeah, I was surprised, but I know they're capable of that. We have a long way to go.
Matthew Carroll, Maui News. Is that pretty much a nearly perfect first half for them, would you say?
They played very well, but I think we certainly contributed to that with our foolish play. Again, in those areas that I said. So you have no chance against Washington. We don't if it's you're turning the ball over, you're not getting back, and if you're shooting quick and giving them second chance points, those are the areas that you won't have a chance. So, but again, Lorenzo's got a heck of a team. They're deep. Their guards, they keep coming out. It's a beautiful shooting team, and I'm sure they'll be challenged more tomorrow.
As Tony mentioned, the pressure clearly got to you guys. I assume that you haven't faced anything like that before. Can you just talk about what it's like experiencing it firsthand?
I mean, they got after us with detail from the get-go, and like you were saying earlier, it's tough to simulate that kind of pressure in practice, but we didn't really handle it as well as we expected to, but we knew that it's coming from watching film and their style of play, and that's what they like to do, is get up the pressure and run, so we just had a difficult time adapting to it.
Coach, you're really familiar with Lorenzo, played him numerous times. How would you compare what you saw tonight to what you've seen in the past from Lorenzo? And Joe, what happened to your neck?
I don't know what happened. I got scraped in the first half, I think. I haven't seen it yet, actually, so.
Yeah, I think that was very early in the game. You got raped.
Yeah.
You asked, how does other teams, we let them do what they're excellent at, and when you let a team that strong do what they do, it's hard to say. Fortunately, when we played them before, we never let them do that as much. Although there were some games actually back at Washington State where they took it to us. I can remember some of those, but just listening to Lorenzo and hearing some things he said, he feels like he has more depth. They're a little bigger than they've been in the past, and other people said they think this is their year. I think more skill on the perimeter. That's what I've seen. Their ability to, again, they're all complete, those guards. Benoit isn't a deep threat as much, but he can change the game with his defense. And then inside, Lorenzo's built a heck of a program. They've been good for a long time, and this is a very good team, and looks a little more potent maybe than ones that I've seen. But again, the way we let them get going, it's hard to answer that.
No coach likes a quick turnaround like you were having for tomorrow, but is this one of those times where it might be a good thing to just try to get tonight's game out of the system and move on quickly?
We'll learn from it. I don't think there's a lot of film you need to show them. I think it was pretty obvious, so we'll just have to turn around and hopefully establish some things. But that will be challenging, but that's the beauty of this tournament. You play 3 times, and I heard all the coaches last night, the tip-off banquet or the ceremonies just say, it will reveal a lot about you. And I told our guys, if we have character, no matter the outcome, you will keep fighting, you'll keep learning. It's such a long year, and that's the spot we're in.
Again, Virginia plays tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. versus Oklahoma. All right, we have Coach Lorenzo Romar and Isaiah Thomas and Justin Holliday. Isaiah Thomas had 18 points, 6 rebounds. Justin had 11 points and 9 rebounds. And the team tied a school record for most three-pointers in a game with 17. They shot 17 to 26 and 3 points, 65%. And for those of you who read your program real carefully, that's just 2 shy of the tournament record, which was set in 1990 by Loyola Marymount when they hit 19 three-pointers. So a great three-point shooting display tonight from the Huskies. And Coach, please open up with a few opening remarks.
I'm already not very good at predictions, but there's no way I could have predicted that we would have done that. No way I would have predicted we would have scored that many points against that type of team and that type of system. But I give our guys all the credit in the world. They came out so focused. I think what we saw was the accuracy with the three-point shot. But I think what was there was a high level of focus on the defensive end, on the boards, in all aspects. And I think that helped with our shooting because we were so focused, we were so dialed in tonight. And it was a great, great team effort. And you got to take those because you don't get a shooting performance like that every day. So I'm glad we were able to take advantage of it.
Matthew Carroll, Maui News. Can you kind of just talk about that team effort? I mean, you guys had 22 assists. You had 11 of 12 guys who saw action, score. I mean, is that nothing you could have really expected?
It's kind of been a pattern in how we played. The first couple of ball games we had over 20 assists. We scored a lot of points. A lot of guys played, and a lot of guys contributed like they did tonight. Again, coming to Maui with the competition picking up a few notches. Again, it wasn't anticipating a performance like this. But this team, if it will come out and be focused, I think could be a special team.
Jerry Tipton, Lexington Herald Leader. For the players, Coach talked about how dialed in you guys were. What got you dialed in?
I think it's just a Maui Invitational. I mean, you hear so much about it. We wanted to come out aggressive and just play hard. That was the main thing, play hard and do things right. And we did, for the most part, we did a lot of things right.
Coach, you talked about coming out with that focus. Isaiah seemed to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder coming out, a little bit more so than we've seen the first couple of games. And also, Abdul Gaddy just seemed to really take over that first few minutes of the game as well.
To me, Isaiah has a huge chip always on his shoulder. He always comes out ready to be motivated to prove something whenever he steps out on the floor. I think that's what makes him the player that he is. And he may not always perform as high level as he wants to because no one's perfect, but I think his motivation is always, I want to be the best and I want my team to be the best. And I think he comes out there with that chip on his shoulder, and I think he's focused. And Justin is no different. Justin's a winner. I think we have great leadership with these 2 co-captains right here, and they do a great job of making sure our guys come out and are focused and are dialed. He's doing a really nice job. He's playing with a lot of confidence. Yeah, he's not turning the ball over. His assist-to-turnover ratio is very good, and he's just kind of playing within himself and being aggressive while still letting the game come to him.
Just your thoughts about Kentucky and what you know about them and what you think about that matchup tomorrow.
I'm really impressed with them. They're a well-coached team. They're very disciplined. They don't take very many bad shots. They don't gamble a lot on defense, but yet they have the athleticism and the talent to really present some problems. They're very active out there on the basketball floor. I'm really impressed with them.
Coach, some people here are referring to this next game as a grudge match, obviously with Cantor and Terrence Jones leaving your program and going in Kentucky. Just wanted to know, is there some bad blood there between these programs now? Is there something to prove?
If I really wanted to do the media a favor, I could just make up some wild story that we hate Kentucky and all that, but that's not the case. Sorry. Kentucky is the next opponent, and if it wasn't Kentucky and if it were Oklahoma, then we'd have animosity toward them because they're the next opponent. We respect Kentucky's program and the job that they do. Terrence Jones is a fantastic basketball player, but we're going out there tomorrow not concentrating on any type of inner rivalry. We're coming out there because this is the next opponent, and we respect them, and we know that we have to play at a high level. So hopefully we can be dialed in tomorrow the same way that we were tonight.
Yeah, Lorenzo, you talked about if your guys stay focused, you could be a very special team. Is it depth that you see that can make it a special team, or experience, or a combination, or something else?
4 areas that are a little different than we've had in the past. One is we have more size. That's going to help us. If we're fortunate enough to make the NCAA tournament, I think that's going to help us. It's going to help us in games like last year. We played Georgetown, and they had more size than us. They gave us problems. In our own conference, USC had more size than us. They gave us problems. Well, I think this year we can combat that. Secondly, this is the best three-point shooting team that we've had since we've been here at the University of Washington. That's a little different than what we've had in the past. Also, our experience. We're more experienced this year than we've been in a long time, since more in the last 4 or 5 years, I think. That's made a big difference. And then our depth. We haven't had this much depth in a long time. And when I say depth, you have 13 on scholarship, but I mean quality depth, where whoever goes into the ball game, you don't take there's not very much of a drop off. Tonight our bench scored 50 points, and that's just not usually the case.
Isaiah, can you just talk about, I mean, how big did that bucket look to everybody out there? Nobody seemed to hesitate once to let that ball fly.
It looked real big, I guess. I mean, we got the shooters to shoot it like that. I mean, we're not going to shoot like that every game, but at the same time, Coach always told us to stay aggressive, and if you got the shot, shoot it. If you don't, pass it up. So, I mean, my guys are just staying aggressive and taking the best shot possible, and it's going in right now.
Isaiah, Coach Lorenzo Romar said that you always have a chip on your shoulder. What is that chip? What do you have to prove?
Like he said, I just want to be the best player I can be. I mean, no matter who's in front of me, I'm going to go out there and try to take it from them. I mean, I'm a winner, and you got to do anything you can to win these ball games. I mean, if that's playing defense and locking their star player up, that's what I got to do. And I feel like I'm capable of doing a lot of things, and my teammates got my back when it comes to that. So.
This is for either Isaiah or Justin. Can you talk about the idea of seeing this tournament on TV and now playing in the Lion at Civic Center, and what it was like, and maybe if it evoked any memories of playing in high school and big games like that?
I mean, first of all, seeing this tournament on TV, you know it's a big tournament. Everybody's watching it. You're able to see teams from all around the nation, top teams, be able to play against each other. And for us to be able to be in this tournament, I mean, it's a great opportunity for our team to show what we're able to do and see who we are amongst the rest of the nation. I mean, growing up watching this tournament, it was always like, man, I wish we was able to play in that tournament, or those teams in that tournament are so good. I mean, now we're here. We're the teams that other people are watching, like, oh, look at Washington, they're doing something. So, I mean, if we can come out here and show up like we did tonight, if we can continue this, I think we'll be okay.
Isaiah, any comment on that?
Oh, just we're ready. I mean, the lights is on. We always say that the bright lights, the lights is on. So we're ready for whoever our next opponent is, and that is Kentucky. So.
Can you expound just on the experience, Isaiah, of just like you've seen it on TV, and I know you've seen it?
It's unbelievable. I mean, the gym is real small, but other than that, the games on ESPN, you always look forward to games like this, and knowing that this tournament can make you or break you. So you got to come out and play hard, play as a team, and give everything you got, and we're doing that right now.
Coach, any closing remarks before we end the evening? It's been a great day of basketball here at the EA Sports Maui Invitational.
No, we just have to get back and switch gears and get ready for our next opponent and get some rest.
Well, we'll let you go ahead and do that. Thank you very much, Coach Romar.
Thank you.
Washington plays Kentucky tomorrow afternoon at 4:30.
Don't touch CJ's right arm.